Hello everybody, welcome to our first ever VA Q&A session. We've got Jennifer Cooper with us today, who is from Jennifer Cooper Timesaver. Now, please do bear with us. This is the first ever Q&A we've done. I'm asking all of you to step out of your comfort zone, so I feel like I've got to step out of mine as well. So I'm just going to add the lovely Jennifer now. We're just adding Jennifer, if you just bear with us. Jennifer, she's here. Can you
Hello,
see
I'm
me?
just going to put my light out so you can see me. There you go.
Perfect. How are you this lovely Friday?
I'm very nice. Well, because the sun's come out. It looked miserable this morning and it's so much better now.
It was horrible, wasn't it? I must say it is better with the sun out. And also, I went to take the dog for a walk this morning. He'd just been to the groomers, and he looked lovely. And then when I brought him back, he looked like he'd been through, like dragged through a hedge. So I'm quite pleased now that it's nice and dry. Jennifer, thank you so much for doing this today. This is a brand new thing for me and a brand new account. So you're our very first one, and I'm really, really happy to have you. I feel like we know each other already because we network, don't we, in the same groups, and we live quite
Yeah.
locally. But I've never met you in real life, so this is as good as it's going to get at the moment, I'm afraid. But
Yeah, no, we need a coffee when we're allowed to
we
again, don't we?
do,
Definitely.
we do when we're allowed out of the house.
Yeah.
So I will keep this really quite brief,
Mm,
but I just wanted to kind of get in touch with a few VAs and just find out, because everyone's niches are so different, everybody does so many different
mm.
interesting things. I just thought it'd be great to have like a little chat with everybody. So Jennifer, first of all, just tell us about you. Who are you? You know, what do you do? Do you have family?
So my background is I did the same job for 18 years out of university. So I worked in retail selling books.
Hmm.
Absolutely loved it, made best friends through it, met my husband through it. Then had kids, kind of managed to keep that part time, but sort of came to the end of the road with that, and there was nowhere left to go, and kind of things changed around me. So I needed to do something new, but then had that panic of when you've done the same thing for years of I have no idea.
Yeah.
Um, and then my route into being a VA is rather random in that I got really involved in my kids' school
Mm.
on the PTA, and that was quite a nice, safe space as a volunteer to
Yeah.
try out new skills with no kind of fallback because you're a volunteer.
Mm.
I found out I love doing events, and I also you learn what your skills are. So things that I didn't think anything of, people are like, "Oh, you're really organised, and you know what you're doing with this, and you're
Yeah.
quite good at social media." So I almost needed that exterior input to like, "Oh, okay." And then through the PTA, there was a job managing a local village hall, so I took that on.
Mm.
And then thinking, well, eventually, I'd quite like to get a few more clients and maybe do a bit more admin work. But then it hasn't really stopped since then. So I met people through the village hall who were like, "You're organised. Can you organise me?"
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. And then January this year, I thought, well, I better launch a website as a VA. And I'd only really found out then. So this was probably about 7 months after I started the job at the village hall. And then this year's just snowballed. I've just been really lucky in that people just seem to find me. I get really good word of mouth.
Yeah.
Um, so I've kind of been a VA who I've tried everything. I've been a bit of a because I'm finding my feet. I've just like, yeah, I'll give that a go.
Yeah. I think it's
So I'm
hard, isn't it? When you're kind of
yeah,
a VA, when you first start out, you don't necessarily know what, I mean, you know, obviously know what you're good at, but you kind of get people approach you and you end up being kind of jack of all trades and master of none.
exactly.
And then you've kind
Mm.
of got to find the root of action. I really like this. I want to learn more of this. And oh my God, I hate this. I'm not going to do any more of that.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of where I am now, in that I've kind of tried loads of stuff, but it's kind of leaning into what I really enjoy and want to spend more time doing. So I mean, I do a lot of social media for people. I really enjoy that. I'm a kind of networky social person, so that suits me. Um, I really enjoy working with kind of one woman businesses and kind of removing the barriers that might be holding them back. And often that's just a little bit of technical know-how. Some people just need an hour or two with me and we get them over that barrier and then they're off.
Mm.
Some people want more of a check-in,
Mm.
probably doing a bit more sort of almost business mentoring now. I've run a few workshops. I found I really enjoy teaching people, so
Have
kind
you?
of
What
trying to pass
workshops
on.
in kind of
So I've done like beginner's guide to social media, but for business.
fantastic?
So it's kind of marrying my retail background with the social media.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm looking to do more next year about just kind of, how to set up your own business. Because I think
fantastic.
a lot of people are like me in that they have the idea for the business, but it was almost like the practical bits that were held them back.
It's really hard, isn't it? You suddenly need to become like the HR department, the accounts department, the marketing department. You're
Yeah.
like, it's just me.
And I can just remember the fear of like, I don't know what an invoice looks like. I don't know what to charge. How do I send that out? So yeah, just trying to help people with that really. But yeah, I've loved it. And it's kind of odd because obviously it's been a very difficult year, but work-wise, this has been the best year of my life.
Has
So I'm
really.
loving it. Yeah.
Has it really? Do you know what? I think it is. I mean, as much as it's hard because businesses are suffering at the moment, I actually think that I used to get quite a lot of pushback from people that worked in offices. People going, do you know what? We need a secretary there that we can shout at. And now it's kind of been forced upon them. They go, oh, we can work virtually. We could Slack you. We can Zoom you. And I think for us, that barrier of you can't be virtual, you have to be on site is gone because everyone's had to do it. So yeah, I've kind of found a similar thing actually that it's VA is becoming much more kind of a mainstream idea, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I think people are sort of learning to work the way that suits VAs, don't they? Kind of, and that obviously I've had a lot of people who are pivoting businesses online. I'm doing a lot of work with sort of market stall holders and sort of shops who are
Mm.
suddenly trying to get some sort of online presence.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think one lockdown they saw through, but now they're in two. They're like, right, I really need some sort of online store for Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, and also the online
Mm.
events. I've been doing quite a lot of work on online events. I've just put a post on about this actually, but
Mm.
it's so there's so much out there. I've been looking at online Christmas parties and all these online fairs and things going on. It's amazing. You really don't just have to sit there, on Zoom with a glass of wine going cheers. There's so many fun activities that can be done online. Some of them are so clever as well, aren't they? They really are.
Yeah, I think there's a big Wealdon midwinter fair going on this weekend, which loads of crafters involved at, and it looks like it's a way to spend a lot of money buying very beautiful things. So I'm kind of trying to be
That's my
strong
weekend.
and not dive in.
That's my weekend sorted. So, Jennifer, I won't take up too much more of your time. I really appreciate you doing this today. But what I wanted to ask you next was just have you got, because we've got quite a lot of new VAs starting out, have you got any kind of top tips for anyone that's starting out?
Um, One of my main ones is research prices because I didn't do that, so I was making prices up out of the air, and
Right.
it's a lot harder to go back and then raise your price.
Yeah.
So do just look and just be bold and stick that price out. Yeah, I would say almost do what I've done and just try lots of different things, give it a go, and then you'll find out what you enjoy and where you want to niche. And then probably the third one is just tell people what you're doing. That was the biggest change of once I sort of put it out on social media and mentioned to people, because then even if they're not immediately going to be a client, they may well mention you to someone.
Yeah.
And I just think, just don't be shy and just, yeah, you've got to let people know what you're doing because people want to support you and they will recommend you if they can.
I think with marketing as well, you never know when it's going to come back to you. You could meet someone at a networking thing a year ago, and then all of a sudden you'll get a phone call out of the blue saying, oh, do you remember we had a chat about Zero? And you'll go, yeah, yeah. And then they'll
Yeah.
go, oh, you couldn't help me. Or so it'll be a friend of that person. So, yeah,
Mm.
I would always say kind of, even if it's months and months down the line, networking is quite a slow build, isn't it? You expect to get your
Mm.
first post out on social media, and then you do it and you're like, why haven't I got 10 clients? But over the years it really does come through in the end. And again, word of mouth is great. Someone will say, oh, Jennifer's fantastic, let's get her in, or I know someone that could do that. So it's amazing. So what are your plans, Jennifer? What are your plans for your business for the next year?
Well, I'm actually hoping to take on one or two associates. I'd really like to sort of support that generation who are finding it really hard out of university.
Mm.
The kind of someone just to sort of give them almost like a 6 month mentoring.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at doing something like that. Um, yeah, and just kind of I'm defining my offers a bit. So I want to do a bit more business mentoring, more networking as well. like with people like you.
Oh,
I would love to talk more with you.
well, I want
Um,
you to come in.
yeah,
I
talk
want
more
you to come
businesses,
in, but we will do some virtual coffee mornings. I'm just getting those set up now. That's one of my other.
coffee. So I've even got my caffeine queen mug.
Have
I'm
you?
all set for the
I
coffee
know.
morning.
I'm on my second of the day.
Yeah,
It's Friday though, right? So
yeah.
hopefully it'll be 1 o'clock, not too long.
But yeah, no, and I've always kind of slightly drawn to you because my husband manages a small accountants in Sevenoaks, so I have a bit of a Sevenoaks love thing going on. So
Do you? Oh,
yeah, so
fantastic.
that was why I always picked up on you, and I thought you need to know about their offices. So
Yes.
yeah, I think it's great what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much, Jennifer, for doing this today. I'm going to try and post it now and tag you in it. This is, again, I keep saying it, but it's the
We're
first
doing
attempt.
brilliantly.
So
I've
hopefully,
got awful lighting, but you can just about see me.
I'm
So
going to see what filters I can put on. But no, so I'll post this up later and I'll tag you in it. And I'll also post some coffee mornings, and I'd love you to come to one or two soon.
yeah, okay, fab. And yeah, just if I can help anyone, hopefully just reach out to me and I'll try and share whatever wisdom I have.
Thank you. And I'll pop your links to the social media as well so people can take a look at your page and get in touch with you directly if they want to.
Okay,
Fantastic. Well,
lovely
have a
seeing you,
lovely
Siobhan.
Friday and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.